What's going on, everyone? Sports back with another video, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about Myles Turner and should the Toronto Raptors trade for the Indiana Pacers center. Myles Turner's been a guy who's been around the league for quite some time, and he's been really good throughout his NBA career. And you can make an argument he's a top 15 center in the league. I would actually say he probably is. He's really good, and he's 26 years of age. So he's still young, at a good part of his career. Like I said, he's been in the league for a while and he's having a really good season here again. Playing under 30 minutes a night, averaging 17 and 8. Those are really good numbers. He could shoot the three, over 40% from three-point land this season and over 55% from the field. He also averages over 2 blocks a game. So Myles Turner brings the full package to the table here in this situation, and he is going to be a free agent this offseason. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. So obviously I think that lowers his value, considering you would have to extend him. He's not making much, though, this year. He's making a cap hit of $18 million. So for his value, I think that's pretty good. I think Myles Turner is probably a guy worth north of 20 million, maybe 22 to 23 million. I think that's kind of his range, and that's probably what he'll make in his next contract, as he'll be 27 in this offseason when he's going to be set to make his next deal and sign his next deal. But what will this cost the Raptors? It would probably cost them something of value, no question about it. Maybe Gary Trent Jr. I think that could be a one-for-one swap where I think Trent's really good, but at the same time, the Raptors are getting Myles Turner, and Trent's a great player, but he's another guy who's, might be leaving this offseason. So I think it kind of makes sense for both teams. Indiana gets a young piece for Myles Turner who they can extend, in which Myles Turner is a guy who maybe they think that is not in the long-term plans of this basketball team. He's been rumored in trades for a long time now. The Pacers are exceeding expectations this year, so maybe they don't end up trading Myles Turner, and he's a guy who makes it to the free agent market in the offseason. And if that were the case, which I think at the least, if he's not traded, at the least he would make it to free agency. I don't think he's a Pacer at the start of next season. If that's the case and he's an unrestricted free agent, the Raptors will be among the top teams in the sweepstakes to get Myles Turner. They've had interest in him in the past. I think they'll continue to do so all year throughout the offseason as well. If the Indiana Pacers were able to find use out of Fred VanVleet or Gary Trent Jr., I would absolutely throw them in a package. Not sure I would add much more to that. Maybe a guy like Malachi Flynn or maybe a second-round pick, but not much more. I wouldn't give up 2 of those guys, or I wouldn't give up an OG Anunoby, or I wouldn't give up one of them and a first-round pick or a Christian Koloko. That's too much for me. But I think if Fred VanVleet or Gary Trent Jr. plus a second-round pick to get Myles Turner makes sense, right? Obviously you would have a really good starting lineup, and you wouldn't really touch your bench, right? You would have, I think this is certainly a possibility, this trade, and if that were the case, the Raptors could get something or have a starting lineup like, if they were to trade VanVleet, it would be Scotty Barnes, Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, Myles Turner as the long-term starting 5. And if they were to trade Gary Trent Jr. and keep Fred VanVleet, it would be, I think I would still probably put Scotty at the point guard, right? Put Scotty at point guard. You could put, obviously Fred at shooting guard, and then OG Pascal Turner. So I think there's a lot of options for the Raptors to get Myles Turner. He's a really, really good player. And I think the Raptors, if they were to make this move, they would have to know that Myles Turner would be here beyond this season. I think that's, there's no question about that. Now, will Indiana even want to trade Turner? Like I said, right now with where they're headed and towards a playoff position, maybe not. Maybe they're willing to keep him and sacrifice what they could maybe get for him to go on a little playoff run. Who knows? We don't know what their team wants right now. And I don't think they know. It's too early to kind of say. There's still about a month and a half to know exactly directions of teams. Maybe the Raptors don't even want Turner, and they don't want to give up something if they know that maybe they can get him in the offseason. So it's really tough. But Turner is a great statistical player. He's a great player watching the game. Obviously he would be a prime candidate and a target for the Raptors in free agency. And I think the Raptors will pursue him, whether that's in season or in the offseason. I think the Raptors will heavily pursue Myles Turner. I think that's the right decision because I really like him and think he would really fit with the Raptors. I'm not going to predict anything, but I do think of all the teams in the NBA, the Raptors have a top 3 chance to land Myles Turner, whether that's via trade or free agent signing. But that's all I got in this video. You guys let me know down below in the comment section your thoughts on Myles Turner. Do you want him on the Raptors? Let me know that good stuff down below in the comment section. As always, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you guys are new, see you guys on the next video. And as always, let's go Raptors.